Life tests us every single day, not with grand challenges, but with small choices. The words we speak, the way we react, and the way we manage what we earn. These three things, your mouth, your mood, and your money, can either elevate you to greatness or drag you into chaos. The truth is, most people fail not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they lose control over these three areas. If you want respect, peace, and long-term success, you must master them. Control your mouth. Control your mood, control your money, because when you do, you control your life. Your words are your identity. Long before people judge you for your talent, your achievements, or even your appearance, they judge you for what comes out of your mouth. Every word carries energy. It can build trust or break it, inspire or destroy, create opportunities or close doors forever. What you speak is not just communication. It is a reflection of your character, your discipline, and your emotional intelligence. When you speak without thinking, you may satisfy your anger for a moment, but you may also damage your reputation in ways you cannot repair. A careless statement can undo years of effort. It takes years to build credibility, but only seconds of thoughtless speech to lose it. That is why controlling your mouth is not just about manners, it is about protecting your legacy. Think about it. People remember words more than they remember details of events. They remember how you made them feel. A sharp tongue leaves scars that no apology can erase, while kind words, wise words, thoughtful words echo in the minds of people long after you are gone. Your mouth is the doorway to either respect or regret. The greatest leaders, the most influential voices in history, were not just intelligent or wealthy, they were masters of language. They understood the power of timing, tone, and intention. They knew that one sentence could inspire millions, and one slip could cause destruction. That same power exists in all of us, in everyday life. A single phrase from you can motivate a colleague, heal a friend, or guide someone who has lost their way. But the same mouth, if not controlled, can do the opposite. It can spread negativity, create misunderstandings, and cause conflicts where none existed. And once words are spoken, they cannot be taken back. They linger, they circulate, they shape the way people perceive you. Your voice is your personal signature. People may forget what clothes you wore, what car you drove, or what status you held, but they will always remember what you said and how you said it. That is why control is power. When you choose your words with care, you design the image people carry of you. You are no longer just reacting to life, you are intentionally writing your own story with every sentence you speak. Silence is often misunderstood. People think silence means weakness, passivity, or a lack of courage. But the truth is, silence is one of the most powerful tools you will ever own. It is not emptiness. It is strength under control. It is the decision to hold back, to observe, and to protect your energy instead of wasting it on words that don't deserve your breath. In silence, you learn more than you could ever learn by speaking. When you are quiet, you hear not just the words of others, but the intention behind them. You start to notice the pauses, the tones, the emotions hidden between lines. Silence sharpens your instincts. It helps you understand situations that noisy arguments will only confuse. People who are quick to speak often reveal too much about their plans, their weaknesses, their fears. But the one who masters silence, that person holds the power. Because when you don't reveal everything, when you keep your reactions measured and your emotions hidden, you leave others guessing. And in that mystery lies influence. Silence is also a shield. There will always be situations where someone provokes you, challenges you, or disrespects you, hoping to drag you into a war of words. But when you choose silence instead of reaction, you rise above the trap. You deny them the satisfaction of controlling your emotions. You show that your dignity is not for sale, and your respect cannot be shaken by noise. In relationships, in work, in leadership, silence is a sign of wisdom. It shows you know the value of timing. Because the truth is, not every question deserves an answer, not every insult deserves a reaction, and not every battle deserves your energy. Sometimes the most powerful statement you can make is made without a single word. And silence does something else. It creates space. Space for thought, space for clarity, space for self-control. In silence, you find use. Balance. You gather your strength. You allow your mind to catch up with your emotions so that when you finally do speak, your words hit with precision, intention, and undeniable impact. When you remain silent, you are not retreating. You are preparing. You are observing, learning, and choosing wisely where to place your voice. And when you do use that voice, it carries weight, because people know you do not waste it. Your mood is like the weather of your inner world. When it's stormy inside, everything around you feels heavy, chaotic, and difficult. When it's calm, you think clearly, act wisely, and attract better outcomes. The truth is, your mood is not just a passing feeling. It is a force that directs your decisions, influences your relationships, and shapes the path of your life. Think about how many opportunities are lost because of one uncontrolled mood, one outburst in anger, one moment of frustration, one impulsive reaction. It can break trust, damage relationships, and close doors that may never open again. On the other hand, when you manage your mood with grace, you create an energy that people want to be around. Calmness draws respect. Patience builds trust. Composure invites opportunity. Your mood has the power to either elevate you or sabotage you. A single decision made in anger can cost you years of effort. A single reaction made in sadness can make you quit something that was meant to change your life. Emotions are natural, but the control of those emotions is where strength lies. You cannot control every situation, but you can control how you respond to it. And that response decides your future. Mood management is self-mastery. It's knowing that just because you feel something doesn't mean you need to act on it. It's the awareness that emotions are temporary, but consequences can be permanent. When you learn to pause before reacting, when you learn to breathe before speaking, when you learn to observe before deciding, you take back control from your moods and you place it firmly in your own hands. Your mood also sets the tone for the people around you. Walk into a room with anger and you spread tension. Walk in with calmness and you spread peace. People remember how you made them feel, and most of the time, what they feel comes directly from the mood you carry. As leaders, visionaries, and change makers are not defined by the moods that control them. They are defined by the moods they control. And here's the truth most people ignore. Your mood shapes your focus, and your focus shapes your results. If your mood is unstable, your attention scatters. You chase distractions instead of goals. But when you steady your mood, your focus sharpens. You see opportunities where others see problems. You find solutions where others see obstacles. A controlled mood is like a clear lens. It shows you the path that chaos would have hidden. Your destiny is not written by luck or chance. It is carved by the daily choices you make. And those choices are guided by your mood. A calm mind chooses wisely. A patient heart moves steadily, and a balanced spirit builds a future worth living. One of the greatest traps in life is allowing other people to control your emotions. When someone insults you, provokes you, or disrespects you, the natural impulse is to react, to defend yourself, to prove a point. But every time you react impulsively, you hand your power over to the very person who tried to take it from you. You are no longer in charge of your emotions, they are. And the moment someone else can control your state of mind, you've already lost more than the argument. Being reactive is like being a puppet with strings. Someone pulls and you dance. Someone provokes and you explode. Someone doubts you and you start doubting yourself. That's not freedom. That's slavery to reactions. The strongest people are not the loudest in the room. They are the ones who know when to respond, how to respond, and most importantly, when not to respond at all. Reactions are often costly. They break relationships, they damage reputations, and they create regret. How many times have you looked back and thought, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have done that? Those moments come from reactions, not decisions, because a decision is made with clarity, but a reaction is driven by emotion, and emotions, when left unchecked, can make you act against your own best interest. But when you choose not to be a slave to reactions, you shift the power dynamic. You no longer let anger decide your words. You no longer let frustration dictate your actions. You no longer let insecurity shape your choices. Instead, you pause, you breathe, and you take control. That pause is not weakness, it is mastery. It is the invisible armor that protects you from battles that don't deserve your energy. When you control your reactions, people notice. They see your composure when others expect chaos. They see your calm when others expect conflict. And that calmness speaks louder than any words. You could throw in defense. It shows self-control, it shows maturity, it shows strength, and strength commands respect without ever raising its voice. Life will never stop throwing provocations at you. People will test you, challenge you, even try to push you to your breaking point. But your response, or lack of it, defines whether they succeed. When you stop being a slave to reactions, you stop letting people play with your peace. You teach them that your mind, your heart, and your energy are not toys to be manipulated. And here's the deeper truth. Every reaction is an investment of energy. The question is, are you investing it in growth or wasting it in conflict? Every time you hold back from reacting, you save energy for something greater, for your goals, your dreams, your vision. Energy that would have been wasted in proving someone wrong can instead be used to prove yourself right through action. Money is not just paper, not just coins, not just numbers in a bank account. Money is energy. It carries the weight of your hard work, your sacrifices, your time, your sleepless nights, and your discipline. Every rupee, every dollar, every note you earn represents hours of your life that you can never get back. That's why treating money casually is the same as treating your own life casually. The way you handle money reflects the way you handle responsibility. If you treat money with respect, you treat your future with respect. If you waste money carelessly, you waste the possibilities it could bring. Money is a tool, not a toy. It can build freedom, opportunity, and security, but only if you understand its value and direct its flow with intention. Think about it. Money itself doesn't guarantee happiness, but the lack of control over money guarantees stress. When money is respected, it multiplies. When it is ignored, it slips away quietly. It does not disappear overnight. It disappears with little leaks, impulsive spending, mindless habits, unnecessary luxuries. And suddenly you realize the very energy you worked so hard to earn has been drained without building anything for you in return. But when you learn to respect money, everything changes. You begin to see it as a partner in your growth, not just a means of survival. You start aligning your financial decisions with your bigger vision. Instead of spending for the thrill of the moment, you start investing for the security of tomorrow. Instead of chasing temporary pleasures, you build long-term stability. Respecting money is not about being stingy, it's about being strategic. Money is also emotional energy. The way you treat it often mirrors the way you treat yourself. People who lack self-control often lack financial control. People who don't value their own effort often spend recklessly because they don't truly understand what went into earning that money. But once you start respecting yourself, your time, your skills, your worth, you naturally begin respecting the money that flows from it. And here's the truth. Money doesn't stay where it isn't respected. It slips away from those who neglect it and grows with those who manage it. That's why some people earn little but build wealth, while others earn a lot but have nothing to show. It's not always about how much you earn, but how much you honor what you earn. Money is energy, energy that can either build the life you dream of or chain you to a life you dread. The choice lies in how you treat it, whether you let it control you or you take control of it. The problem with most people is not how much they earn, it's how much they keep. You can have the biggest paycheck, the largest business, the flashiest lifestyle, but if you don't know how to save, you'll always be living in survival mode. Saving before spending is not about deprivation. It's about discipline. It's about making a silent promise to yourself that your future matters more than your impulses. Think about it. The moment money enters your hand, the world around you starts screaming, "Spend me." Ads, sales, luxuries, temptations, everything pulls you to let go of what you just earned. And many do, without thinking twice. But the wise ones, the truly powerful ones, make a different choice. They pay themselves first. They set aside a portion, not for bills, not for shopping, not for showing off, but for their future self. Saving before you spend is like planting seeds. Every rupee you save is a seed that can grow into security, opportunities, and independence. And just like seeds, money takes time to grow. But if you never plant, you'll never harvest. Imagine the strength of knowing you have reserves waiting for you, a safety net to fall back on, and investments quietly working for you while you sleep. That peace of mind is priceless. And it only comes when you respect saving more than spending. Many people make the mistake of saying, "I'll save whatever is left after spending." But here's the truth. Nothing is ever left. Lifestyle always expands to match income. The moment you earn more, you spend more, and the cycle continues endlessly. But those who save before spending break free from this trap. They reverse the formula, save first, spend later. And that single shift builds wealth, not just income. It's not about saving huge amounts at once, it's about consistency. Even the smallest savings done regularly build habits stronger than sudden bursts of discipline. Chinte, saving is not just about numbers, it's about identity. It makes you the kind of person who values tomorrow as much as today. It makes you someone who doesn't just chase short-term pleasure, but builds long-term power. And here's something people often forget. Saving gives you freedom. Freedom to say no to things you don't want. Freedom to walk away from toxic jobs, toxic relationships, or toxic environments because you're not chained by desperation. Saving gives you choices, and choices give you power. So saving before spending isn't about money, it's about control. Control over your life, control over your direction, and control over your destiny. Anger is natural. Everyone feels it. When someone disrespects you, when life doesn't go your way, when the world seems unfair. But here's the truth. The real test is not whether you feel anger, but whether you can master it. Because the words spoken in anger are the ones that cut deepest, the ones that linger the longest, and the ones that can destroy relationships, opportunities, and even your own peace of mind. Think about it. How many times have you said something in anger only to regret it later? You can apologize, you can explain, but once words leave your mouth, they cannot be erased. They live in the memory of the person who heard them, echoing long after your anger has faded. That's why controlling your tongue in anger is not just about keeping peace with others. It's about protecting yourself from the damage you could cause with one uncontrolled outburst. Anger makes the tongue faster than the mind. It bypasses reason, it silences wisdom, and it makes you speak from hurt instead of clarity. And in those moments, you don't just hurt others, you weaken yourself. You hand over your dignity, your strength, your control, all for a few fiery words. And what do those words give you in return? Nothing but guilt, regret, and broken trust. The strongest people are not those who shout the loudest or lash out the quickest. The strongest are those who can stand in the fire of anger and still hold their silence until their words are chosen with care. Silence in anger is not weakness, it is power. It means you are the master of your emotions, not their servant. When you learn to control your tongue in anger, you protect your relationships from unnecessary scars. You protect your reputation from reckless words. You protect your future from impulsive mistakes. And most importantly, you protect your peace, because the more you speak in anger, the more chaos you invite into your own mind. But when you pause, when you breathe, when you refuse to let anger dictate your words, something magical happens. You take control back. You realize that your voice has weight, your words have value, and they are too powerful to be wasted on anger. Your tongue, when disciplined, becomes your greatest weapon, not for destruction, but for influence, for leadership, for wisdom. Controlling your tongue in anger doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means channeling them with maturity. It means giving yourself time to process before you respond. It means choosing words that heal instead of words that harm. Because anyone can speak in anger, but it takes true strength to speak with clarity when emotions are boiling. Respect is not earned by words, it's earned by consistency. People watch how you show up, not just on your best days, but on your worst. And one of the fastest ways to lose respect is by letting your moods dictate your behavior. Because when you swing between kindness and cruelty, calmness and chaos, warmth and coldness, people stop trusting you. They start walking on eggshells around you, unsure of which version of you they will face. Mood swings might feel like small, harmless shifts inside you, but to the outside world, they speak volumes about your stability. Think of leaders, mentors, friends, those you admire. What makes them trustworthy is not perfection, but steadiness. You know what to expect from them. They don't let their personal storms spill into every interaction. They carry themselves with balance, even when life tests them. That's why people lean on them, respect them, follow them. But when your mood dictates your actions, you hand away your power. One moment you're inspiring someone, the next you're pushing them away. One moment you're building trust, the next you're breaking it. And over time, people stop taking you seriously, not because you're incapable, but because you're unpredictable. Unpredictability creates distance. People avoid investing emotionally in someone who could change with the wind. Here's the truth. Everyone has moods. Everyone feels frustration, sadness, or irritation. But maturity lies in managing those emotions so they don't control how you treat others. Because the way you treat people in your low moments says more about you than the way you treat them in your high moments. Anyone can be kind when they're happy. True strength is being respectful even when you're struggling. And it's not just about others. It's about your own growth. Mood swings scatter your energy. When your emotions rise and fall wildly, your focus breaks. Our productivity dips and your vision gets clouded. You start projects with passion, but abandon them in frustration. You make promises in excitement, but break them in anger. And slowly, your dreams slip away. Not because you lacked talent, but because you lacked emotional balance. Steady moods create steady progress. They allow you to stay consistent in your work, your relationships, and your character. People respect those who can weather storms without turning into a storm themselves. Because stability is a rare strength, and it makes you stand out in a world full of chaos. Mood swings may feel personal, but their impact is public. They shape how the world perceives you, how people value you, and how opportunities open or close before you. Money doesn't disappear because of how little you earn. It disappears because of how carelessly you spend. Your spending habits are like silent leaks in a boat. One small hole may not sink you immediately, but if left unchecked, it will eventually drag you under. The truth is, financial freedom is less about how much comes in and more about how much you allow to slip away. Spending without control is a trap many fall into. You tell yourself, it's just one coffee, just one outfit, just one little splurge. But those just ones add up. They become patterns, and patterns become habits. And suddenly you're living in a cycle where your money is working against you instead of for you. When your spending is impulsive, your future becomes uncertain. When your spending is intentional, your future becomes secure. Every time you spend, you're making a choice. You're either choosing instant gratification or long-term strength. The pair of shoes that look good today might mean missing out on an opportunity tomorrow. The night out you couldn't resist might be the investment you never made. And the truth is, money always flows. It's either flowing toward building you up or flowing toward breaking you down. Controlling spending doesn't mean depriving yourself. It doesn't mean living small or denying joy. It means aligning your money with your priorities. It means asking yourself, does this expense serve my future or just my moment? It's about creating a balance where you enjoy life, but don't sabotage your stability. Because true luxury isn't about what you wear or what you drive. It's about the peace of knowing you're not one paycheck away from stress. And here's something powerful. Spending habits reveal character. People who cannot control their spending often cannot control other parts of their lives. If your wallet is chaotic, your schedule probably is too. If you're reckless with money, chances are you're reckless with energy, with relationships, with time. But when you learn to discipline your money, you discipline yourself. You create a ripple effect that touches every area of your life. Controlled spending creates options. It allows you to invest, to take risks, to walk away from things that don't serve you. It gives you power, the kind of power that comes not from showing off wealth, but from knowing you are secure even if the world shakes around you. That kind of confidence is priceless. And it starts with one simple rule. Respect every rupee, every dollar, every choice. Because uncontrolled spending is not just about money, it's about identity. It tells the world whether you are ruled by impulses or guided by vision. Words are not just sounds that leave your mouth. They are blueprints, they are weapons, they are medicine. They are tools that can either construct the life you dream of or shatter it piece by piece. The way you speak to others and to yourself creates the atmosphere you live in. And sometimes, it's not the world that destroys you, it's your own tongue working against you. Think about it. Kingdoms have fallen because of words. Wars have started because of words. And peace has been restored because of words. A single sentence can inspire millions, and the same sentence, spoken differently, can destroy faith, love, and respect. That's how much power words carry. And yet, most people treat them carelessly, as if they have no weight. The truth is, your words follow you long after you've spoken them. They stick in the minds of others, shaping how they see you, how they trust you, and how they value you. Speak with bitterness too often, and people will avoid you. Speak with wisdom, and people will seek you out. Speak with honesty, and people will respect you. Your words are like seeds. You plant them daily, and what grows depends entirely on what you choose to sow. And it's not just about others, it's about you. The words you whisper to yourself in silence are even more powerful. When you tell yourself, I can't, I'm not enough, I'll never make it, you're not just speaking, you're programming your mind to believe those limits. But when you tell yourself, I can, I will, I deserve better, you open doors inside yourself that no one else could unlock for you. The most important conversations you will ever have are the ones you have with yourself. But here's the challenge. Words spoken without thought are like arrows shot without aim. They will land somewhere, and often that somewhere is a place you regret. A careless joke can leave a scar. An angry sentence can break trust that it took years to build. And once spoken, no apology, no explanation, no excuse can fully erase their impact. That's why the most powerful people are not those who speak the most, but those who know the value of every word they release. They understand that silence can be louder than a careless sentence, and that a single well-chosen phrase can change a life. They don't waste their words, they invest them. Every time you open your mouth, you're either building bridges or burning them. You're either lifting yourself and others higher or pulling them down. And the difference between the two lies not in your vocabulary, but in your awareness of the weight your words carry. If you want to know someone's true character, don't just look at their achievements or their public image. Watch how they handle their mood, their mouth, and their money. These three things are the truest reflection of who a person really is. Not the titles they carry, not the fame they chase, but the way they manage themselves when life tests them. Mood shows how much control you have over yourself. Anyone can be pleasant when the sun is shining, but the real test is how you treat others when the storm hits. Do you snap? Do you withdraw? Do you punish the people around you because of what's happening inside you? Or do you carry yourself with balance, refusing to let temporary emotions define permanent impressions? Your mood is a mirror of your emotional maturity, and people respect consistency far more than volatility. Mouth shows how much discipline you have over your words. It's easy to speak when you're happy, but what do you say when you're angry, jealous, or hurt? Do you use your tongue to heal or to harm, to inspire or to insult, to build or to break? Words reveal character in ways actions cannot. Because actions can be rehearsed, but words, especially in raw moments, show who you truly are. A wise tongue can open doors that power and money never could. But a reckless tongue can slam those doors shut forever. And then there's money, the quiet test most people fail. Money reveals whether you are driven by greed or guided by vision. It shows whether you respect the energy you've earned or waste it on empty validation. Do you save and build, or do you spend to impress? Do you treat money as a master or as a tool? Because how you handle money doesn't just shape your bank account. It shapes your freedom, your options, your stability. Mood, mouth, and money. They seem like separate things, but they are deeply connected. If you can't control your emotions, you'll lose control of your words. If you can't control your words, you'll damage relationships and opportunities that money alone can't buy. And if you can't control your money, you'll live chained by financial stress, no matter how much you earn. Together, these three form the foundation of your character. And here's the reality. People may admire your success, but they measure you by your character. They might be impressed by your achievements, but they remember how you treated them, how you carried yourself, how disciplined you were with the resources you had. Mood, mouth, and money are not just habits, they are the silent signatures of your identity. Real power is not in muscles, not in money, not in positions of authority. Real power is in self-control, because the person who can master themselves cannot be mastered by anyone else. Self-control is not about denying yourself, it's about directing yourself. It's about choosing clarity over chaos, purpose over impulses, and discipline over distractions. Look around you. The world is full of talented people who never reach their potential. Not because they lacked skill, but because they lacked control. They couldn't control their tongue, so they ruined relationships. They couldn't control their anger, so they made enemies. They couldn't control their spending, so they stayed trapped in debt. They couldn't control their desires, so they sabotaged their future. Talent may open the door, but only self-control keeps you inside the room. Self-control is the invisible armor you wear in every situation. When someone disrespects you and you don't react, that's self-control. When life tempts you with shortcuts and you choose patience, that's self-control. When emotions scream at you to explode but you stay calm, that's self-control. And in those moments, you win a battle not against the world, but against yourself. And that is the greatest victory of all. It's easy to control others. It's difficult to control yourself. But the irony is, when you control yourself, you no longer need to control others. People start respecting you because of the steadiness you project. They see your calm in the storm, your balance in the chaos, your discipline in a distracted world. And respect that is earned through self-control lasts longer than respect earned through fear or force. Self-control is also the foundation of freedom. Because every time you control your impulses, you break free from being a slave to them. Every time you say no to temporary pleasure, you say yes to long-term power. Every time you hold yourself back from an unnecessary reaction, you protect your energy for something greater. Self-control doesn't limit your life, it liberates it. And here's the truth, self-control is rare. That's why those who master it stand out. In a world where most people are driven by mood swings, impulses, and temptations, the one who can rise above their own chaos commands a different level of respect. They don't need to announce their strength. It shows in their silence, in their choices, in their restraint. Life is less about what happens to you and more about how you respond to what happens to you. You cannot control every situation, every person, or every challenge that crosses your path. But you can control your reaction. And that reaction has the power to shape the direction of your future. Think about it. Two people can go through the same hardship, yet one rises stronger while the other collapses. The difference is not in the situation, it's in the reaction. When faced with betrayal, do you let bitterness eat you alive, or do you channel that pain into growth? When failure knocks you down, do you drown in self-pity, or do you rise with new wisdom? Your reactions are the steering wheel of your destiny. The truth is, most opportunities are hidden inside difficulties. But if your reaction is impulsive, emotional, or reckless, you'll miss the lesson, you'll miss the chance, you'll miss the growth. Every reaction you choose is like a seed. Anger plants destruction, patience plants peace, discipline plants success, and over time those seeds grow into the life you end up living. Reactions also define how people see you. Anyone can look confident when things are going right, but when things fall apart, when stress builds, when pressure mounts, that's when true character is revealed. Do you explode? Do you retreat? Do you break? Or do you pause, breathe, and respond with clarity? People don't remember how you behaved when life was easy. They remember how you handled the storm. And here's the part most people forget. Reactions are not just about the present moment. They echo into your future. One reckless word can end a relationship you'll regret losing. One impulsive decision can close doors that would have changed your life. One calm response, on the other hand, can earn you respect, open opportunities, and set you apart as someone unshakable. Your future is not built by the events around you, it's built by the way you deal with them. It's built every time you choose not to let emotions rule your actions. It's built every time you decide that your peace is worth more than proving a point. It's built every time you react not from weakness, but from strength. Because in the end, your reactions are not small moments, they are silent architects designing the life you are walking into.